Heartthrob alert! This next video is all about our true amour of the moment, Pedro Pascal. And hey, it's not just a personal opinion of Pascal's hotness.
That's the truth. I'm a heartthrob.
And while we're getting into the nitty-gritty of all the fun facts you never knew about this hot boy of the moment, let's just picture for a moment. You're sitting at a table for one, and this smoldering charmer is your waiter. Well, imagine no longer, because this is the very first Pascal fact. When Pascal was a struggling actor, he waited on tables to help make ends meet. Like most actors do, all the more reason to be nice to your waitstaff. What makes this tidbit of Pascal info that much better is when, looking back on that trying period, Pedro admitted he was a downright terrible waiter.
I would say I was not a good waiter.
So many different reasons. If I liked you, I liked you. If I didn't, I didn't. And that didn't necessarily go well with having a bunch of customers. I was fired often, upwards of maybe close to 10 times. Good thing being a bad waiter doesn't translate to being a bad Mandalorian. Speaking of a career path that may have been, Pedro was also an accomplished swimmer. Okay, well, at 11 years old. But he still won a Texas state championship as a swimmer. Thankfully, he dropped the sport in favor of drama classes during his teens. When asked if he'd ever take up swimming again,
No. I was really bad at the game.
gosh, we love this honest hottie. Ever since the release of Narcos, who among us hasn't doodled their first name with the surname Pascal? Just me? Okay, anyways, another interesting tidbit is Pascal is not Pedro's true surname. As a way of honoring his mother, who passed away when he moved to New York to pursue his acting passions, he changed his professional name from his father's surname, Balmaceda, to his mother's, Pascal. Pedro has said this of his mother: "None of my success would be real if it weren't for her." A real, true sweetheart. Now set your fantasy brain to overdrive, because this next Pedro fact may be too hot to handle. Not so breaking news, but FYI, Pedro Pascal and other zaddy-level movie star Oscar Isaac are besties. Yeah, let that sink in. Pascal and Isaac go way back. The two actors met in 2005 while in the off-Broadway production of Beauty of the Father, where they were paid $500 a week. While the two remain fast friends, even going so far as to sometimes celebrate New Year's Eve together, Pascal and Isaac's careers have taken off in a big way. Pascal can currently be seen in HBO's The Last of Us and the forthcoming third season of The Mandalorian. Isaac, meanwhile, has carved out a name for himself in TV and film in projects like Moon Knight, Dune, and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Now, if you're a Pedro Pascal head like myself, this may be old news with a new twist.
Life is good, but it can be better.
But did you know that Pascal's villainous turn in Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 1984 wasn't the actor's first brush with the Wonder Woman franchise? The cute actor actually had a supporting role in David E. Kelley's 2011 TV pilot, Wonder Woman, as Ed Indelicato, a police detective who was Diana Prince's liaison at the LAPD. While the pilot had a lot of buzz going for it, NBC reportedly passed on the pilot because it was a mess. Glad he made it through that almost disaster to another movie that also didn't do too well at the box office. Well, it's the optics that count, right, people? Here's a juicy little bit of information that really speaks to Pedro's humility. When Pascal was invited to speak with Jon Favreau about a potential Star Wars project that would eventually become The Mandalorian, he was thrilled. In Pascal's words, he said to director Jon Favreau, "I get to play Boba Fett?" When Favreau responded, "No, not Boba Fett, The Mandalorian." "I couldn't have imagined a better moment," Pascal recalled. And the best news is that things have a way of working out, since Pascal's star turn in The Mandalorian helped cement him as a leading man, paving the way for future opportunities, including The Last of Us. Let's all send director Jon Favreau a gift basket telling him he's so money, baby. So this is what makes Pedro, Pedro. The love that he has for his sister is not only beautiful, it's an act of bravery in this current political climate. Letting the world know of his support and affection for his sister, Lux Pascal, Pascal proudly posted a photo on Instagram in February of Lux's cover for the Spanish-language Ya magazine, where she came out as a transgender woman. "My sister, my love, our Lux," Pascal wrote in Spanish in the caption. And more fun facts than you can handle, Lux has since gone on to attend Juilliard for acting, where she performed in productions of Hamlet, The Seagull, and Our Lady of 121st Street. What may be one of the more unique facts on this list, Pascal is such a good actor that he doesn't even need to be in the room when delivering a role. Sure, stunt doubles and stand-ins for roles are common in TV. They rarely replace an actor for an entire episode, though. But for The Mandalorian Season 1, Episode 4, entitled Sanctuary, director Bryce Dallas Howard told Vulture she didn't work with Pascal at all. He was in rehearsals for King Lear on Broadway, and so, while we were doing my episode, I wasn't working with Pedro. Howard instead said she worked primarily with Brendan Wayne, one of Pascal's doubles, and the grandson of John Wayne. Between Bryce Dallas Howard being the child of director Ron Howard and Brendan Wayne, Nepo babies aplenty. Okay, so we are all in love with Pedro Pascal due to his acting prowess and cutie patootie charm. But who is Pedro crushing hard on acting-wise? Turns out it was former co-star Nicolas Cage. Pascal said, "I am his biggest fan." So as a child, the kinds of performances that were imprinted onto my experience were Cage's, which made working on the 2020 film The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent one of the more surreal experiences for Pascal.
Okay, you ready?
All right, now here's the part where we get into some Last of Us hot goss. And TBH, sorry it took this long to get to it. Even though The Last of Us on HBO is a faithful adaptation of the best-selling PlayStation 3 video game, showrunner Craig Mazin reportedly told his cast not to play the game before production. But that direction was a bit too tempting to follow for Pedro Pascal. He recently admitted that he tried playing the game anyway, but couldn't finish a certain level. Pedro claimed, "My nephews were watching me play and eventually got tired of my inability to complete the level.
My nephews took the console away from me.
Even when you're Pedro, you can't have it all." While we've spoken of Pedro living in New York and Texas, it turns out he was actually born in Santiago, Chile. He lived there for only a few months before his family moved to Denmark, then San Antonio, and then Orange County, California. We've got ourselves a world traveler here even before he was 3. Now for all you SMG fans, that's Sarah Michelle Gellar for the rest of you, a very special thing happened on Insta. She posted a scene between her and then unknown P. Pascal. Because, fun fact, one of Pedro's first acting roles was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He appeared in a 1999 episode playing a first-year college student named Eddie. Pedro has said of this role, "I was so excited to be on it."
She was such a kind scene partner and we had the best time.
Pedro truly is a masterclass in never giving up on your dreams. Which fact was a shocker for you? Comment below. And for all things in the Pascaliverse, be sure to like and subscribe to The Things Celebrity.